Hey guys, coming with you today with another kind of short filler video. Today I'm just going to show you guys quickly this new VCR I picked up. This is another S-VHS set that I picked up from JVC, and we're just going to go over it really quickly. So yeah, I picked this up locally not too long ago at a local sort of flea market. Flea markets, in case you're not from the U.S., actually I don't know if the term is even used or not outside the U.S., but in the U.S., at least certain parts of the U.S., a flea market is just, it's kind of like a bunch of yard sales in one spot, usually like an empty church parking lot or something. Usually on the weekends, people get together and, you know, they'll sell stuff. And this, I found this and I think I paid $1 or $2 for it. Didn't know if it worked, but didn't really even need it since I already had an S-VHS set, but something about it just caught my eye, and for a couple bucks, you know, why not? So this is another JVC set. This is specifically, this is the SR-S365U, which is the model number for this guy. Now this is a little older, this is an older set, I believe from the 80s. It's a little older than the last one I had on here, but there's just something really appealing about it. Now I'm not sure if this qualifies as a professional or a consumer or a prosumer set. I think what I looked up online, it kind of, even though it doesn't have as many features as the prosumer set I featured last time, I think this one was originally marketed as kind of a professional set. Right off the bat, I noticed the power plug for it is a little more hefty, heavy duty. It even has the grounding one, where a lot of VCRs, especially consumer VCRs, just kind of have the standard two-prong plug, but this one has the more kind of industrial, heavy-duty plug. So that's why I think maybe they were going a little bit more professional with this one. Instead of black, you know, it kind of has a gray, sort of off-white exterior. SVHS, it is a hi-fi set. Video cassette recorder, yeah, SR-S365U. We'll just go over the buttons and stuff real quick. Not as many features, like I said, as on later models, but still pretty nice. Power, eject. Now I kind of like, I like, but I don't like how some of these buttons, they're really big buttons, but like this one's colored blue stop and blue eject, and then, you know, the white. I don't know, it's nice to have a different color theme, but sometimes it comes off as a little bit, I don't want to say kiddish, but it just reminds me of those big like computers or things for kids that have giant buttons, and they're usually like colorful colors. All the titles and text are like different colors. It doesn't really bother. It actually has a bit of a charm, but again, I can't help thinking that sometimes when I see stuff like that. But yeah, menu. We have a manual tracking on here, which is nice. RA edit starts. That's an edit feature. I'm not really sure what that does. A little component that opens here. Got a nice little bunch of little dials in there. We have a jack for headphones. Choose line or S-video on here. Things for checking remote. There's a computer connection on the back. Hi-Fi record levels you can adjust here. I think this is the level for both. Audio out select that you can pick, and Hi-Fi select, which is nice. We'll look at these a little bit more in a minute when I start this machine up. Over here again we have C reset, A dub, pause, record, stop, play, and then of course the jog wheel for fast forward, rewind, or you could go through it, you know, frame by frame basically. Now, if you want to fast forward or rewind, you don't have to hold it the whole time. If you just take it all the way and then let it go, it will continue on. So let's take a look at the back of this thing really quick. Alright, so here's the back of this unit, and we have, right here we have regular composite, we have line out, and then of course it's hi-fi, so we have the white and red for stereo sound. We have a composite in and stereo sound. We have a monitor out, video and audio. RA edit, and again I'm not sure what that is, it's more for editing and professional use. Serial remote connector here. Then we have S-video out and S-video in. And then over here we have an RS-232C connector, so that would be to connecting to a computer. And then we have a, it looks like some kind of proprietary port for a remote. So a little bit more features on this as far as connecting it up than the last SVHS set. That was a prosumer model. This one does look like it's a little bit, even though it's older and it has less features, it does seem a little bit more geared towards the commercial professional market. And this one even has a badge. Refurbished. This equipment has been refurbished. So I guess that's good because it was old at some point it was refurbished after its manufacture date. So at least that tells us that, you know, someone has looked and serviced this thing at some point after its manufacture date, as I said, and it does indeed work. So let me plug this thing in and we'll just do a quick show of it in action. I really like this VCR, but I think it does seem to produce a better picture. You probably can't see it over there, but there's my other prosumer JVC. I think it's an S1000 series. Off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure it's one of the S1000 or 7000 series. But yeah, I feel like this one gives a little bit more stable image. I do like how the tracking is right here in front, and I think that one you have to, I'm not even sure there's manual tracking on that one. I think it's all automatic. But this one you can switch between manual and automatic in the menu. But yeah, this one is older, but I just feel like the picture's a little bit better, a little more stable. So far, the only problem I've come across with this set is when I'm playing a tape. It only happened once, so it might have been a fluke. But I was playing a tape and it started emitting kind of a weird whining sound. So I think it's something really minor, like maybe just some of the rails need greased, or maybe it's just a belt that needs replaced, something simple. But other than that, it played things fine. And then when I ejected the tape and did it again, it played it fine. So it could have been a fluke or it could have been the tape. I'm not sure. But other than that, it works just fine. The other thing I really like on this is I really like this LCD panel here. It's a little bit more old school. It's kind of an amber screen on it, amber color, rather than, you know, the later that's like, you know, blue that we got in like the 90s and later. So yeah, this one's a little more old school looking, and it just, some of the meters, like the hi-fi meter for the audio, just looks a lot cooler. It looks really cool, kind of like, it kind of reminds me of some of those 80s cars that had the digital display panels trying to be futuristic. It just kind of reminds me of that. So I might actually set this thing up as my main sort of VCR. So let's just take a look at it real quick in action. What we're going to play again is, of course, the classic poor man's Top Gun, Iron Eagle. Alright, so let me just, first we'll just back out, and then I'll show you guys a better look at that LCD in a minute. But we'll power on. Again, we get a nice blue screen over there with JVC. Alright, so let's put the tape in. And this one doesn't have the problem that the last one had, where you kind of have to give the tape a little help. It actually just sort of goes in fine. And then we'll hit play right there. There we go. Alright, so let's take a look at that LCD panel. Alright, so here's our LCD panel. Like I said earlier, it's a nice kind of amber color. And there's the audio. I'm not exactly sure what those are called exactly, but it reads, you know, it gives you a visual detail of the audio level. And I just really like how it's set up, or how it looks. It's very sort of old school. Like I said, it reminds me of those digital dashboards. I remember some cars had the speedometer was kind of like that, but it's one of the neatest ones I've seen in a long time. So we'll just zoom in on that. But yeah, and you can, over here, like we saw earlier here with the hi-fi select, if you watch, you get left and right. I can manually change those, or both. And yeah, so that's pretty cool. Now let's just take a quick look again. And it's dead silent. It's not making that weird noise, so maybe that was just a fluke. But, you know, we have our fast forward and rewind, of course, and then we can do frame by frame. although it doesn't do that very well. It seems like the other one was able to do the whole frame by frame with the jog wheel better, because it will do that, but then we go to the next one and that's not so bad, and then the next. It just seemed like the other one did it a little bit better. But another interesting, although maybe pointless quirk of this set, which I kind of like, is it doesn't mute the audio when you fast forward and rewind. So on a lot of VCRs, and the other one I have, it just mutes the audio when you fast forward and rewind. But this one, you actually get the high-pitched sound of the audio, which I don't know why I like that, but I do. So I'll just demonstrate that here real quick. Let me unmute the TV and hit play. Turn it up.
Mom, you're picking my tux up, aren't you?
Now. I don't know why I like that, but I do. And then play. And there's our pause. And it does have the pause where it doesn't blank the screen. We actually get the image, the frozen still. But yeah, so basically that's all I have to say about this. Just a really quick overview of this VCR. I know I don't on these videos. I don't open it up and stuff. There's another guy, Data Bits. He really does cool videos on a lot of VCRs, and he opens them up and he does the whole spiel. But these are just quick overviews, especially if I check on YouTube and there's no one's maybe done anything, like you put in a model number and nothing comes up at all. I know these videos aren't super comprehensive, but at least now there's something, so, But yeah, this is the JVC SR-S365U, and I think I might make this my main VCR, just because it's kind of cool, and I like that LCD screen for whatever we want to call it. Alright, so thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.